Thank you, Collard, and thank you for that kind introduction. Collard actually said it earlier on when he said that back in 100 years ago, we were physically active, but now we are just information overload, which is basically, I can sit down now, can I? That's what I was going to say. Recently, on a Saturday night in our household at home, my husband said to me, I was getting towards dinner, "Don't worry, honey, I'm going hunting and gathering for dinner, and I'm going to put it on the table tonight." I thought, fantastic, this is great. So he got his hunting tools, his credit card. He went and sat down on the couch with his laptop, and he went hunting for our dinner. A couple of clicks later, he got up and he got his gathering tools, his car keys, and he went and got our dinner. And half an hour later, our dinner was on the table. Fantastic. There was no stoking a fire. There was no spending all day hunting down a beast. There was no harvesting of vegetables. So I thought, well, this is great, but, it felt a little bit hollow as well, takeaway. So with all of these ways of trying to make our lives easier with all our cleverness, we are actually busy, but we are replacing our craftsmanship with machines and technology. So if we were born to create with our hands, are we innovating ourselves out of a job of being human? And so with all of this trying to make our life easier, are we actually making our life better? So what does make a better life and a life worth living? Kind of just a little question that I'm not going to be able to cover in the next 5 minutes, unfortunately, since it's been covered by philosophers and humans and researchers and authors for centuries. However, I'm going to quickly go over the life work of the Hungarian-American psychologist, let's see if I can get this right, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, if you may have heard of him. He was fascinated by creative types, so artists, musicians, and researchers, scientists. And what he was so fascinated by was that they could get completely absorbed in an activity and lose track of time until they don't even eat and sleep. And so what was it that caused these people to get so absorbed? And so he researched it, and the participants described the state of mind as being carried along by a current of water. And so he coined the term flow in 1975. Because I'm a scientist, I'm going to like a bit of graphs. So we've got a graph up here, and this is when you're in flow, it means that you're doing something that is challenging enough to be slightly above your skill level. And when your skill level isn't quite high enough for the challenge ahead of you, you feel anxious. But then when your skill level is lower than what you were doing, you get a bit bored, but it can also be sort of a little bit relaxing as well. So when we're in flow, we are completely absorbed and we are focused on what we're doing at the time. We have a sense of control. We're not self-conscious at all. We're not thinking about ourselves. We have a sense of control. We lose track of time. We get immediate feedback and we have this feeling that we're going to succeed. And we also feel like we're rewarded through our activity, and we have a sense of achievement, which gives us life satisfaction. So this is, actually I should add here, I can lose track with the best of them when I watch a Netflix series, and 6 hours later, I've watched a whole Netflix series. Line of Duty, by the way, the whole season in one shot. And I can't exactly say that I got up and think, yep, that was 6 hours well spent. Well done, Alex. I didn't feel like I achieved anything there. And the thing with flow is that you need to be actively involved in the challenge, not actually passively watching TV. And you don't actually get so much of a reward from watching Netflix. So this is where I created Crafting Wellness, because I wanted to get people off their TVs, off their screens, off their computers for a little bit and go back to their innate craftsmanship and pick up the tools. And so these workshops that I've created for anyone basically, but mainly businesses, they are hands-on activity. They give people a sense of purpose and achievement because they achieve one little activity that they've handmade within that time. They are designed to create flow and promote innovation and creative thinking, which leads to productivity. And it's all about action through doing, learning through doing, sorry. And most importantly, it is freedom from distraction. We don't have any phones in our workshops, so everyone has to turn off their phones and put them away. And most people will say at the end, oh my goodness, I didn't even think about my phone for the last hour because they were so engrossed in flow in their activity. And because I'm all about learning through doing, we're going to do a little activity. You've all got a pen and an envelope, so you can use the back of your envelope. Thank you. So I've got a little timer here. This little activity is about what happens with distractions. So we're constantly distracted, aren't we, by emails and notifications and your phones and meetings and all kinds of things. So this is what happens when you are trying to multitask. This is what happens to your brain. The first time we're going to write this is the word multitasking, don't do it yet, and the numbers 1 to 12 underneath because there's 12 letters in the word multitasking. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer. You're going to write multitasking, the number of 1s to 12 underneath, and then when you finish, just look up, see what time it is and write it down, and then we'll do another one. Okay, can we start the timer, please? Okay, go. Okay, most people finish that one? Okay, we're going to do that activity again. Same thing, you're going to end up with the same result in that you're going to have multitasking and the numbers 1 to 12 underneath. But this time when you do it, I want you to write M1, U2, L3. Okay? So we're going to start the timer again. Thanks, Paoli. And are we ready? Go. Okay, so I heard a few giggles there. If most people finished that one? Okay, can anyone tell me how different it felt the second time round? Harder? Yeah. Did anyone take less time the second time round? Or you did? You're an amazing multitasker. Okay. Mostly, people find it a lot harder and it takes longer. So if you've got 2 tasks that you need to do, focus on one, get it done, move on to the next one and get it done. Every time you switch between tasks, it takes an extra little bit of brain power, and if you're doing that all day, every day, you'll be exhausted by the end of the day. Oh, that's that one. Oh my God. I thought it was this one. This one's red and flashing at me as well. So I can finish up there. But basically, the message here is that I would like to create more experiences of flow in our lives. And if we can effectively deal with distractions, maybe pick up some tools every now and then and actively engage wholeheartedly in a growth project that is more meaningful to us and beyond ourselves, we can create more beauty in the world, and we'll find that maybe life is worth living and it's worth living well. Thank you.